everyone, welcome to the next episode from this series from Ivy and the Inky Butterfly. I'm not sure what episode number we're on now, I think maybe 8. It's going to be quite a long series, but I don't want to rush it. I think I'm pleased with what's been done so far, although I might make some changes to some of it later. But it's nice to just work through a slowish pace when we've got so many sort of complex little items to do. And I'm sort of thinking this pot doesn't look too daunting to do compared to maybe the big trunk of items, so I'm going to do this one. Now I've got to decide. I'm just getting comfortable in my chair, wearing a really uncomfortable pair of trousers. I'm just going to hoik them up a bit. You'd laugh. I've been doing some painting and wearing old painty trousers. I think I'll do the pot in silver just because I'd quite like these bits of the chest to be gold, because I think this could be wood, and then if this is gold it looks really special, and brown and gold I think go quite well. So I'm going to do this in silvery colours like we did our smaller pot on the other side. So where should we start? Let's start with a really dark grey. I rather like the Paynes grey. It gives quite a nice silvery look sometimes. We'll have a go with that. Just giving it a sharpen. Here we go. So these are Polychromos, by the way, just for those of you who haven't been watching or can't remember. So I'm going to start here. I want this little section here to be quite dark, so I'm not going to put much more, just there. Now this bit here is our brim. It's going to be sticking out, I feel, so it's not going to be quite as dark, so I'm going to use quite a light touch with this. We'll be adding in some other greys as well, so I'm thinking just something like that on here on both sides. Yeah, painting. I've been painting my bathroom. Well, I haven't actually started painting it. It's Saturday today, husband's home, and we've been doing the filling. I think this corner be dark. I'm thinking that this is a sort of overlap, so it might have a shadow under here, which is what I'm going to just put in there. So this morning, while husband was out shopping with my one son, me and my other son, we did some of the cleaning, a sort of general household cleaning, and then I want this to be quite a bit lighter here, and then sort of fade it across. And then we started getting the bathroom prepped for painting, so we masking taped round, and I did a little bit of sanding. Some of it, quite a bit of it had been done already, but a few bits that had been missed. And then when husband came back and had had a cup of tea, I'm going to have to loosen my trousers. These are really small trousers. There we go. That's better. Whew, I can breathe now. So we did a few of the bits and pieces. I'm going to go around these a bit, I think. Oh, that's a bit dark. Let's just blend that in. There we go. And a bit around here. So I'm waiting for the filler to dry, basically, so that it can be sanded back before we paint. And it's going to be quite a long process because I've got a bit of exposed wood in one area. That's a bit dark, isn't it? I'm trying to concentrate. Where we had a bit replaced, a bit of skirting board replaced. So I've got to put some primer undercoat on that. It's 2 hours between coats. So once the filler's dry and we sand that, there's a bit above it, so I can't paint it until that's done, or else obviously the sawdust will stick on the paint. I think I'm just going to use a little bit of this at the bottom of here, and then we're going to grab a lighter grey. So yes, I've got to paint that, and then I've got to wait 2 hours, and then I've got to do another coat, and then I can actually do the rest. We have got a sort of mould resistant paint because it's the bathroom, and we can paint it on anything. So we're going to prep that bit of wood, and then we're just going to paint the paint on everywhere, so the ceiling walls and skirting, all the door frame everywhere, and hope that it works. So yeah, there's that to do, but it's going to take a few days. But if we can get that wooden piece done, like if I can get a bit done at 2 o'clock, it's 1:05. I can do another bit at 4, and then I might be able to do a layer of paint at 6 if I've got the energy left for it. I'll have to see. Now we want to go a bit lighter, and this is going to be a darker pot than the other silver one, which is what I want. So I think I'm going to go for this one. This is cold grey 5, so as I say, it's still quite dark. I'm going to extend all the areas, so here, this one's quite faint anyway, so I'm going to keep it quite light. Now you can do a light touch with the dark colour, which I think can be quite effective, but we'll see how it looks once we've done all the rest. Might want to put another colour in there as well, because I always think a darker greyish item, it can look more like pewter than silver maybe. I don't know, I don't really, just sharpening up for these bits, don't really know what the difference is. And my aim is to try and make it look like these bits are sticking up a little bit, but we'll get there. It's not going to quite work yet. I've got to add some layers of colour, of grey, to it, and then hopefully it will start working. So here I'm going to fade up, but we've got this dark line which is supposed to make this look like it's standing out. Yeah, these painting trousers that I'm wearing, I've had them shoved in a bag. They're so tight. I actually put I put an elastic, you know, hairband on the belt, on the what do you call it, the fastener button. It's not really called a button on a pair of jeans anyway, but they're still way too tight when I sit down, especially as I've just had lunch. So yes, ow. But certainly better than wearing a nice pair, that's for sure. So just putting in some little bits here, and then I'm just going to have a proper look at it and work out what I need to do to get it looking proper like. Okay, so let's work here and get some shadow. Brr. I've got bare feet as well. I always decorate in bare feet. There's a reason behind that, is that if I stand in wet paint, then I feel it and I can wipe it off. If I'm in socks, I can't feel it, so then I can tread it around the house, which fortunately I've never done, but you know, maybe due to my method. So I'm just going around these edges to try and put a bit of shadow in, really. And this bit is a bit messy. Now I realise I'm using the different shade of grey to what I did before. That's partly on purpose, and partly me being a bit lazy, and I feel this needs a little bit more. It's a bit too dull, because it's at the bottom, it would have some shadow there. But we're definitely going to put a bit of white pen on here, but we might wait till we've done all the gemstones, or else I'm just going to be smudging it. There we go. Now I'm having a look at the gemstones. Let me just sit back. I think that's worked. Yeah, I'll want to sort of white out the top brim and some other bits later, but I'm going to leave it now and do the gems. So that's our pot. Now, I am thinking, it doesn't really, we've got a lot of red going on at the top here, which you can't see because I'm pointing at it. Usefully, you can't see. I just realised, yeah, I think that, I just saw one of my pencils was in the wrong place. So apart from red, we haven't really got anything going on yet, so I think I'm just going to grab some colours and go. So what green? Should we use a green here? I always think the bluey greens are much better for gem colours than just a plain green. So I'm going to use one of those. Yeah, let's use the chrome oxide green fiery. It'll challenge me when I'm writing the colour names in the description. Such a long name. There we go, chrome oxide green fiery, and I'm going to do this one. I'll probably use a second colour as well, so I'll just use some of this and then gently fade it off like that. Yeah, using a lot of colours. It's the first and second video from the series have already gone out. The first one, I can't remember. I think just the first one maybe. Anyway, it doesn't matter. And someone said use nearly every colour. Polychromo in the first video. Not every colour. A lot though. But yeah, I feel it needed it. I'm going to do a diagonal one coming from that corner. Like that. And I'm going to do a little, we're going to go really light. I want to see what it looks like with the light phthalo green with it. Now I did use white in the first gemstone that I did, but I don't think it showed up enough to make it worthwhile, which is why I didn't use it in any of the others. I felt that just fading it off and showing the paper through. And once I put the white pen on, it was fine. There we go. Well, I think that did work. Right, pink next. I have decided, what's that one? Yeah, I'm going to use the light red violet first. I'm going to do this one here. Same technique again. And just gently fade it a bit. It's not easy. You can always erase a bit back if you put too much down, or do it lightly and gently build up the layers rather than trying to fade them off. It's just a technique, needs a bit of practice, and you might find there's a way that's a bit easier for you than doing it this way. Whereas I'm basically layering out more here, and then as I come towards the end I'm putting less pressure on the pencil as well. I was going to use the second pink, but I think that's fine just with one. Might just use a bit of light magenta. Can you even see that? There, maybe you can. So I didn't think I was necessarily going to get much time for doing videos today, but husband said do it while it's drying. That's a good idea. Now we have this one here. It's got a little space there. We have this one here. No, that's not a space. That's part of that one. We have a big one. Fancy sort of orange, I think. This is the orange glaze. Now, this, yeah, I'm going to start here, I think. So probably don't need more than one colour in these little segments, but these larger ones I might want one. It's quite hard to even just fade it, it's so small, but I'm sort of trying my best. It feels really like Sunday today. It's very, very odd. Because I didn't go out to the farmer's market and shopping with husband, my son did it and I stayed back and did some of the cleaning. Because what we've started doing is we used to shop on a Saturday, clean on a Sunday, and then we had a few days when we had to be out, so we had to clean and shop on a Saturday. It's actually rather nice to get it all done in a day, and you got a whole Sunday where you just can chill. So we started doing the cleaning, you know, 2 people shopping and 2 people cleaning instead. And so that's what we were doing today. But because I was cleaning, which is the Sunday job, it feels like Sunday. want a slightly lighter orange. I'm going to use this the cadmium orange to just do a few, so these longer bits, just to put a bit more on. I still want a bit of white, so not on all of them. I think that's plenty. Now behind here we just got a little one. I'm going to grab a blue. I wonder if this one will work. The cobalt blue. I don't know if it's a bit too, what's the word I'm looking for, milky almost? We'll have a go and we'll find out. I think it's fine. Yeah, I think I'll just come up there. Maybe here. Leave a blank bit there. That's quite tricky, it's quite small. I was thinking this bit might be part of it, but it isn't. I'm pretty sure it's part of that one. We've got this one. I think we'll go for a pinky red and see how that works. This is the pink carmine. It's nice to have a sit down and be doing. It's funny because I really don't like painting. I don't like painting walls of my house, and I don't like painting on paper, you know, artistic painting either. It's okay, but I mean both really, they're both okay, but not my favourite thing to do, but it saves a lot of money, so that's always good. This big one, I'm really tempted to go a bit, I'm tempted to go with this magenta. Just jumped out at me when I was looking in my tin, so I'm going to have a go. It's going to be very intense. There we go. My sister was saying there's another energy saving session tomorrow, so between 1 and 2 p.m. if you use extra electricity you get it for free. We had it the other day. I don't know how well I did, but I did my ironing, which takes electricity, and put some stuff in the dryer and did a few things like that, and charged a few things, but I'm not sure I have anything to do. I mean, I always have my dryer on a Sunday at that time anyway, because I wash my sheets, so it won't be much different. There we go. Now this one and this one are quite flat, but I'm still going to colour them as gemstones rather than, you know, they could be nuggets of gold or silver, but I think we'll make them all gemstones in this little pot. I think it just sort of makes it a bit more consistent then. So we'll go for a sort of, yeah, we'll go for a cobalt turquoise next. So we've got a sort of greeny blue for this one here. I think I'll make it dark on this side because there'd be shadow from this one. There we go. There. I think another green. Yeah, we've done a pine green one before, but I see no harm in doing another one. It was on the other page somewhere, I think. Can't even remember. Maybe it was, I don't know. Anyway, we'll do one here. So this is a simpler way of doing it. So even with a bigger gemstone, you could just stick with one colour. But when you've got a smaller space, I mean obviously this bit I'm doing now is a bit bigger, but when you've got a smaller space it's easier just to use the one colour. There we go. I don't know what sort of colour that is, but oh, we got woken up this morning by the most strange noise. Deep scarlet red. I can do this little one because there's a lot of red at the top, and these two are quite pinky red. And there was like banging on the roof. And my son, who sleeps in the attic bedroom, obviously was woken up by it as well. But it sounded like something was tumbling down the roof. It was most odd. We haven't done any purples. Let's do a violet. And I could hear the birds squawking as well. My husband said it was the birds squawking that woke him up, not the sounds on the roof. But it was so loud. But I was paranoid that another tile had come off or something. So at lunchtime, because I was downstairs, I thought I'll go and check and make sure everything's okay. And I went to check, and of course a neighbour comes out to their car, and there I am in all my painty clothes. But anyway, he was very polite, dark indigo. I told him why I was staring up at the roof because, you know, but all was fine. He looked up too, and it all looked fine. So that was good. But it was, yeah. He was telling me about his new job. So he's only just got one which he decided he wasn't keen on, so he switched to something else, which is fair enough. Now I think here, I want another orange one, so I'm going to go for this darker one. This is the dark cadmium orange. It could potentially do with two colours because this bit's quite big, but I don't have a lighter one that I haven't used, so I should just do it this way. Like that. Fade that one. And that one. There we go. Now I think I'll do this bottle. I had a bottle in the other one, but it was a perfume bottle. This one looks much more like a sort of medicine bottle to me. But that doesn't matter. We want to make it look sort of shiny like the gemstones will. I mean, I'm going to put the white pen on here like we have done on the other page, but we'll do the bottle first. You can't even see all the bottle. Hold on. There we go. So let's start with the cork. That's easy. And I've got a raw umber. And I'm just going to colour it in just with the light layer to start with. I'm going to add more layers. Don't press too hard. And then I'm thinking a little bit darker here on the edge, like this, and maybe on the edge of the cork. Husband's going upstairs. I told him to knock on my door if he needed any help. And then I'm going to use the burnt umber, and I'm going to put some dots on it, because if you look at a real cork, there is sort of different colours in it, and I find doing this is the nearest to imitating that as I can manage. You don't have to add that little detail, it's completely your choice. Now I was thinking, oh, that would be nice in red, but no. We've got our red up here, so maybe a dark, because I did quite a light violet here, so maybe we'll go from mauve, and then we've got quite a dark purple. And I'm thinking we'll do all the glass in this mauve. How should we do it? I think we'll just go darker here and then lighter as we go up, like that. Same here, trying to match the amount of intensity with that side. Then thinking just maybe a light bit across there. Is that going to work? I'm not sure. I'm going to do the neck of the bottle and then I'll come back to that and see if I think it works. See, I'm just thinking if it's purple glass, so it would look. I think I do need a little bit more intensity of colour. If I can take that up there, then I can do it there. Oh, my stomach is gurgling. The effect of eating a big lunch and having tight trousers on. Right, our bottle label. I'm going to do it in a more subdued, sort of almost pastel-y tone, I think. So I'm going to go for the light ultramarine. And I'm just going to put a really light layer on top of this centre area. Do you think a label wouldn't be shiny? It'd be papery and matte like that. And then I'm wondering whether to just put a dark layer on the edge. I get a sort of frame. Because putting more layers down, it's darker, more intense, and it matches because it's the same colour. There we go. Now, I think I'll do my white now on these. I'm just going to have to move my pencils on that. Oh, they're in the way. Sorry, there we go. So I'm going to do some white pen, and if we've still got time, we can do some of these bits on the floor. But I'd like to sort of get this sort of pot done first. So here's my Jelly Roll 8, which is what I've been using for all. Now I'm going to go across this way so that we don't smudge it. If you're left-handed, you'll need to go in the other direction. But it's just a matter of knowing which way works best for you, depending on whether you're left or right-handed. And the worst thing is smudging your paint pen. It's very irritating. I find this quite relaxing. It's like, I always feel like I'm using an eraser. I'm just taking the lines away. I find it just adds to that impression of shine. Same as the top of this. Taking that away. We'll do a bit more on the bottom after, because as well as going from left to right, you can also go from top to bottom. So we'll do all the gemstones first, then the pot. I think it'll be easier for me that way, or else I'll forget what I've done and what I haven't done. So yes, it's been quite the eventful day, despite the fact it's only 1:30. So woken up by noise on the roof, doing some prep ready for painting. It's exciting. It's the floor's being done on the 23rd, so I just wanted to get the painting done, and it's already the 18th today, so there's not going to be another weekend before the floor's done. And although I could have done it on my own, I sort of wanted husband to help me really, because firstly I've had a bit of vertigo, particularly yesterday. I'm going to put a reflection line on the bottle as well, doesn't want to show up. So I said to him, would he mind doing the ceiling and I do the walls, because then I'm not looking up so much. He was happy with that, so we'll see. We just have to try not to get in each other's way. It's quite a small room. It's an ensuite bathroom, so it's basically tiny. It's basically got I guess it's got a shower, which is only a 760ml shower tray, so sort of the smallest that my broad-shouldered lock can manage really. And obviously there's a loo, and there's a sink on a big cupboard, which the cupboard looks huge, but it's over the stairs, so it's not as deep as it looks, but it nicely covers up that gap, so it works well. There's a radiator, a little window, and there's a cupboard on one of the walls as well. It's very useful, so most of our toiletries and bits and pieces are all hidden in the cupboards, which is great. I wanted extra storage when we had it done a long time ago actually, and so we had a bigger shaving cabinet put above the sink, so there's lots of storage in there, and basically we have our first aid kit and razors and stuff in there. And then I also wanted an extra storage cabinet. It's nice having lots of storage when you have a partner who doesn't like throwing things away. It means it's just out of sight. For me, out of sight, out of mind does work, so that's quite good. And I've recently tidied out the cabinets, got rid of all the out of date bits, because medications go out of date. Husband was like, "You didn't get rid of that, did you?" I was like, "Well, yes, you can't take out of date medication." It was like, "No, I know, but I haven't got any more." And I'm like, "Well, you'll have to get some then." He's actually not allowed to take this particular medication now anyway, with his current medication, so you'd have to get something else. So I'm going over all the lines. I know we sort of almost emphasise some of them by putting some shadow in, but I feel that if I go over them with a bit of white, it just tones it down a little bit, and I think it helps to emphasise the shine. I might be wrong. But yeah, it's a sunny day today again. Very hot. We're very glad we didn't go out. We're going out on Monday to the wetlands near us. Have a picnic and look at see if there are any babies still around and things like that. Baby birds, I mean, not just any old baby. You'd have to go to wetlands to see babies. But yeah, so that'll be nice. But we chose Monday because the weather's supposed to be cooler, so that's good. Now, I think I'm done with those. I'm just having a little look. I'm going to do the ones underneath, like I said, because we've still got plenty of time. Could deal with some of these. We've got gemstones and coin. I'm going to do some coins just so I'm doing something a little bit different. We want gold and silver. Now I can't remember whether we used 2 colours on the others or just one. So I'm just sharpening my green gold because it's a great colour. Excuse me, and I'm going to do a few with this and then see whether I need a second colour. So I'm going to do the same as I did before. So more near the edge and then just fade it off towards the middle. And it's quick. And I'm going to do this one under here. Now we're going to have to do some gold coins touching, or else it looks very contrived. We're trying to make it look like it's a sort of random scatter of coins. Because obviously that's the collective name for coins, the scatter. No, they look like they're scattered, don't they? What is the collective name for coins? I don't think there is one, is there? It's not like different birds, like flamingos is a, what's the word? It's a good name. This is coal grey 4, which I'm using for the silvery coins. I'm going to see. Is it a flourish of flamingos? I think there's 2 names. No, flamboyance. That's right, a flamboyance of flamingos. It's great, isn't it? My Member of Parliament used that once in a speech in the House of Commons, in the House of Parliament, where she was talking about our local wetlands, and they have flamingos. She used the term flamboyance. It's quite fun. I think it might have been her maiden speech. I haven't heard we've got a new Member of Parliament now, whether he's done his, but of course the maiden speech means their first one. Each newly elected one gets the chance to make a speech. I just realised I didn't use any black pencil on any of this, and that's why it doesn't quite look as striking. So I'm going to go back and do a little bit, so I hope that's okay. Just a touch here and there on the areas that I think should be dark. It's better to use before the white pen, I think, but hey ho, don't know if we need much on this indigo. It's almost black anyway, but black gemstones do exist. Is it onyx? I think this is making a difference. You may not see it or notice it on mine. You might notice it on yours though, because you're a bit closer. I'm zooming quite far out now because I'm doing the coin. Now on the orange, you've got to make sure you sort of blend it in a bit. Might not do very much because it's tricky. Yeah, so we'll see the flamingos when we go to our wetlands, and that'll be nice. But they're not my favourite birds, I have to say. I prefer geese, ducks. Actually, not geese, ducks. I'm going to put a bit of this on these. On the silver ones, it makes sense. It's a tad. But I'm also going to put a bit on the gold ones in the same places, just on those areas. Like here, there's going to be a bit of shadow, so I'm going to put a bit extra there. But black can work with gold as well. It's actually an easier way to make it darker than to try and use a mix of browns and things like that. It's just a bit different. You may prefer to use your browns. Some people always start their gold with a black. It's just everyone has different ideas. Right, we've got quite a selection of little gemstones here as well. We'll use a different colour. There should we go. I'm quite fancying another blue. What's this one? This is cobalt blue-greenish. I'm going to use it for this one. This is quite small. I don't know if you're going to be able to see. Yeah, my MP's been doing a little bit of campaigning locally, trying to get a certain bus route reinstated. He uses the bus quite a bit himself, so he's quite keen on buses, which is good because there are a lot of people who live where it's very hard to get around to different places. I'm just looking at the dark reds, the Caput Mortem, Indian reds. They're not quite. I'm going to try this. I've never tried this for a gemstone. This is a pompeian red. I don't know whether it's going to be the right shade. I just fancy having a go. I like the colour, but whether it's going to work, we'll judge once the white's on. It'll be too late then. There's a little splodge there of something. I don't know what that is. I'm trying to erase it. Gosh, I tried to erase something the other day, and my eraser had a bit blue on. You know, where I'd erased something blue just before. Luckily this wasn't in a video, and it was on someone's face that I was doing some erasing, not a real person, a picture of a face. And so it then spread blue on her face. I couldn't erase it back either. So what did I do? Well, I used a bit of white pen to cover it. I'd erased it as best I could with a clean eraser. And then I oh, itchy head now. Do I want to use that? Yeah, I'm going to use the juniper green. And then, yeah, I used a bit of white pen on top, and when that dried, I put a bit of the skin tone that I'd used back on top of that. And it worked to some extent. There was a bit of a problem where when I took the photo, if I had the camera, the book and the lamp organised so that there was a sort of shine, coming off the glitter that I put on other bits, then the white pen that I put on the face shone. That wasn't quite right, so I had to not do that. I'm going to use a terracotta for this next one. Now, terracotta is not a colour that I would normally ever use for a gemstone, but I'm thinking amber, maybe? I just want to experiment a bit. I've got so many that I just fancy trying terracotta. It's a very small area in this one. Definitely not going to use more than one colour. I was actually making some cards this morning. I don't make cards. I colour postcards and gift those, but don't make my own cards. It's just not something that I'm very good at doing. But husband was making cards and he asked me to help. So I'm just looking for my next colour. Getting very distracted. I want something really bright. This one. Let's use the dark chrome yellow. You can't see that. Oh, it's rubbish. So it's my boy's birthday next week, so I'd been out to look for a card, I just couldn't find a decent card. So I was like, well, I'll make one, because he's, you know, he's an artist, he's good at drawing and stuff. He's actually got his own coffee shop where he sells bookmarks and little artworks and things. Anyway, so I was like, okay, but he said, I need you to do some colouring on it. That's fine. So we ended up with a joint effort, which was fabulous fun. So he drew them, and then this is fuchsia, this one, and then I did a bit of pencil colouring. He did a bit of paintings. Well, one of them I did some pencil colouring and some Posca pen work. And the other one I did some pencil and then he did some watercolour. So they're mixed media and got a bit of input from each of us on them, which is cool. I thought it was nice. Anyway, there we go. Now, I am going to grab my white. I'm going to see if any of these need a bit of extra white round before I do these. Because some of them showing up quite a bit of the black pen from underneath, so just going over those a little bit. I'm just not doing all of them, just where I can see it, so it's up to you if you do that. We might need the time to catch up with some of the pencil work. Oh, that one was wet. I scraped off what was there already. This one, that's better. Sometimes it's okay to see a bit of the pen through, the print through, sorry, the black. I think it depends what you're doing and what you're trying to achieve from what you're doing, really. Because this is supposed to be shine, it needs to be white, I think. Hence the need to just put a little bit extra on. Hopefully husband's put his face mask on. We didn't have any sort of decorators face masks, but I found some face masks that we bought for when we had to wear masks for shopping and stuff. And they were ones that I bought cheaply and they turned out to be absolutely awful. But they're good, they're fine for wearing just to keep the dust out of your nose and mouth for 10 minutes or half an hour, whatever it might be. So I think hopefully he's put those on. One of them was for me. I found some gloves as well. I always like to wear gloves when I'm decorating because I am so messy. I just get it all over my hands. I'm bad enough when I'm just using this pen, let alone a pot of paint. Hence why I was really careful about making sure we used lots of masking tape. We also cut up we had some cardboard left from when the shower was put in. The people the plumbers were like, we can take this away, and I was like, actually, can you just leave this bit and this bit? There's some huge bits that I can then use to put on the floor. So they were like, that's a good idea. So that's what they did. But it's nice to know that it's being done. The fact that I've started, I know that it's going to get finished quickly because I don't leave things once they get started. You know, I'm not a procrastinator really, but yesterday I was going to start it and I had vertigo. I was like, I can't. I was feeling really sick. But fortunately today I'm better. Actually, was it the day before yesterday? I can't remember. Anyway, whatever it was, I'm better now. I said to husband though, can you do the ceilings and I'll do the walls, and then I'm not looking up, because I did find when I looked up it came back a little bit, and weirdly my sister had it this morning. My father-in-law had it last week. His is loads better, which is great news. Now what we're going to do next, I'll have a look at the time and see what I might want to do next. Let's have a look. 46. I'll give you 10 minutes more. I'm not sure what on. Let's have a look. We want to stay away from this bit, so maybe we'll do this shield here. Should do the shield. Now our last shield I tried to do a sort of wood with the gold. Let's have a think. Maybe we'll do the outside in wood and the inside in metal. That'd be different. Let's have a think. I'm going to grab the brown ochre. I'm just going to sharpen it, and then I'm going to use that for the beginnings of my wood. There we go. So the outside bit in wood, I don't think it would be like this, but I just wanted to look different to the other one. If you feel you would rather, because I would think an outside in wood would make it a bit, I suppose it's not a proper shield, it's just a decorative one. So I was thinking a proper shield that you would hold in front of you in a fight, you might want the edges to be metal so that it doesn't wear. If this was wood, the swords might whack it and break it. I don't know. I don't know much about shields. It's another snake. Why are there snakes? I sound like I'm whining. I'm scared. Can I put another layer on? I want it to be a little bit darker than that. And then I'll put some marks on it to try and make it look a bit more like wood grain. I put my hand in the white bit. You know, where I just put pen. It hasn't come off. Thankfully. There we go. Might not have needed a second there. Now I want a darker colour. What shall I pick? This one. This is the Bister. Sharpen it. Come in a bit closer, couldn't I? There we go. So here's our Bister, and I'm going to be doing little lines throughout, just quite small, just to look a bit wood grain like. I'm trying to make them uneven. It's quite hard, particularly on such a small space. I don't know why I'm going across here when surely they'd all be in the same direction. Never mind. I'm going to have to do it, change directions each time now so it doesn't look too odd. Try and keep turning your pencil so you've got a nice sharp bit. If you notice it going a bit blunt, turn it to find a sharp bit of your pencil. And of course you may just need to sharpen it. the end. I'm sticking my tongue out, concentrating. It makes talking quite hard. Now these sort of background bits, I'm going to make them look silver using a grey. I'm going to use a pale grey. This is the Cold Grey 3. So I'm going to use, I'm just going to sharpen it so I can fit around, because I've got all these little details to fit around. And I'm going to do a sort of diagonal stripe like this and sort of fade it out a bit. I'll use some white, put it back in. That's quite simple, and hopefully I'm thinking I'll do the same down here. Ooh, Mr. Snake, you do be scary. Like that. And then thinking about how maybe the dark bit go across here. Trying to sort of work it out as I go. Thinking that lighter bit would carry on through there. That would be dark there. Like that. So this one's just slightly different. This would go all the way up to light in that corner. Ooh. It's time for that itchy nose that comes in every video. Maybe that works. I think maybe it just needs to be a bit more intense in the darkest bits. Maybe that's the way to do it. There we go. Right, let's do the little designs on here now. I don't think I want to make them look shiny as well. I want these to look like they're printed on. Therefore, I'm going to use the green gold from my crown and stars, I think. And just block it in. It's quite easy actually. Straightforward colouring, quite intense. You don't have to do it this way. If you'd rather put in some shadow and shading, you can. And also you might rather not have the stars the same colour as each other, but I'm actually going to do the green things the same colour as each other too, just to sort of add a balance. Which green? Yeah, maybe the permanent green olive. It's a nice green. I like it. Might make our snake look better if I use a green that I like. Never know. And I know I haven't done the gemstones here. I was contemplating whether to do them the same colour green as this. And then it all sort of matches. So again, quite intense colour. These items. Yeah, I think I am. I'm going to do it like that, so it's just a sort of matching. Yeah. Okay, I think that is all for now. I do need to go and help my husband. By the time I've just come out to show you, I'm not outlining any of this in white. I don't think it needs to be shiny like the diamonds and things. But there is what we have done. Oh. So yeah, we've still got loads to go. But I just hope that you're enjoying it, because I am. So yeah, we've got, these are quite pale against, but we can emphasize the shadows under them and things like that maybe later. I was thinking I might do a little bit more with the table, maybe, but not yet. I haven't decided yet. We'll just see how it all sits once we're done. But anyway, thank you for watching today. I hope that you have a really good day and happy colouring.